everybody doing tonight? Thank you guys for coming out to South Bend. Thank you guys for coming out to the Drop Comedy Club. Let's give ourselves a big round of applause for supporting comedy. Give a big round of applause for yourself. Happy New Year, happy 2023 to everyone. Any good New Year's resolutions out there? No? So I'll give you mine. My New Year's resolution was to see my parents more, which is great because my mom and stepdad are right up front. So that's fantastic. Already kicking it off. Any birthdays, anniversaries? There you go. What's the birthday girl's name? Wendy? Everybody, let's sing happy birthday to Wendy on 3. Are you guys ready? 50th? All right. Are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. That's all the time we got. We got a second show tonight, guys. Happy birthday, Wendy. Happy birthday. Thank you. I love you too. We got a great show for you guys tonight, but before I get into your lineup, I'm going to go over some rules. I know rules suck, but we need them to keep some order. Please silence your cell phones. It's a distraction to the comics up here, and we'd appreciate it, and I know the audience would appreciate it. Please, no flash photography. Again, a distraction. These lights are bright enough as is. Don't record the comic sets. This is our material. We get to use it how we'd like to use it. And keep the heckling and table talk to a minimum. Because this is a sold-out show, which is great. But that also means everybody here paid to see us and not listen to you guys talk. So let the professionals handle it. We have a great show for you guys tonight. I am so excited. Starting us off tonight, we got Katie Zane. Let's give them a round of applause. Let's keep it going for Cody Backus. He's our second guest spot. And you guys are in for a special treat tonight. You guys get 2 headliners for the price of 1. Let's give a big round of applause for Jermaine Bradley. Let's keep it going. There we go. And let's keep it going for Bill Gevirtz. Let's keep it going. And you guys are actually in for a great show, especially because today is my birthday. So if you guys would, thank you. I like tequila, if that matters. If you guys have a drink in front of you, let's give a toast to me for turning 29. That's great. My name is John Freitag, but recently one of my coworkers told me that I look more like a Karen. They said it was because of my hair, but I don't get it. I think I look more like a Morticia, you know? Like the fun goth aunt. Because I'm all about it, like screw the government, screw institutions, but as long as I can be comfortable with a nice matcha. But I will ask to talk to your manager. I'm a new stand-up comic. Been doing this for about 1.5 years. And I've been going out to Chicago to hit up some open mics and make a name for myself. And it has been going poorly. And I don't think it's because of the performance part. I love this shit. This is awesome. I think it's because by the time I've already gotten out there, my anxiety is up here. Because the drivers are the worst, and they just give me the worst anxiety. But somehow, every time I go out there, I tell myself that this time it's going to be different. This time it's not going to be so bad. It always is. And I know when I'm starting to hit Chicago traffic, because I'm still driving along like I'm in that movie, Driving Miss Daisy, which I've never seen, but I assume Miss Daisy enjoys speed limits. And then everyone else around me is driving like they're in the Fast and the Furious. Except there's no Vin Diesel character to pull up next to me, nod, and go, family, and then drive off into the distance. It's just a bunch of serial killers hopped up on Frappuccinos. Like this one in particular, who wouldn't let me into their lane as mine was quickly ending. Got me all in my head, thinking, all right, some small dick asshole boxing me out, right? Well, eventually I do get behind this Jeffrey Dahmer on wheels, because that's how traffic works. But then, I start to realize that they have a bunch of pink breast cancer survivor magnets and stickers on the back of their car. So now this has got me feeling like the bad guy. Now I'm the small dick asshole. Now I'm the one with a lump in my chest. Because she's, there you go. Because she's strong, right? She's a hero. She's a survivor. But for just 1 second, I wish she wasn't. Like, I'm glad she gets to go home to her friends, family, and loved ones. But just for a moment, her pink ribbons had me seeing red. And I'm glad she gets to live a long life and it wasn't cut short, but like, just for the smallest amount of time, I wish we cut federal funding. Now, while I was dealing with this moral quandary in my head, I was driving along and I saw a cop pull up behind me. And I instantly got nervous. I instantly started to itch. And I had no reason to. My license plates were up to date. My license is up to date. I wasn't holding. I was good. I was good. But why is it? It doesn't matter who you are. You could have committed no crimes, or you could have committed all the crimes. As soon as you see the silhouette of a cop car in your rearview mirror, you get paranoid. You instantly start to think things that you've never thought before. Like, maybe there is crack in here. Is that ketchup or is that blood? And then they have the nerve to just pull off onto some side road and go home like they're not copping 24/7 and didn't just make you piss your pants. But then, this is right around that time, if you're like me, you start to calm down, remember that you're white, and speed off to go bury the dead body in your trunk. It's a little awkward. It's a little awkward. But it's not as awkward. You know, the most awkward thing that can happen to you in life is meeting somebody who knows your parents while you're out with your parents, but they haven't seen you or your parents since you're a baby. Because, like, the dad they know, or the dad I know, kind, sweet, a little bit of a dick, isn't quite the dad that they worked in restaurants with, down in the trenches. That guy was a wild party guy. He loved his alcohol, and I guarantee you he was still a little bit of a dick. And then they always say the worst thing that you could ever hear from a stranger. The worst thing, the last thing you ever want to hear from a stranger. I saw you naked as a baby. Hold up. I thought that right was reserved for me, my parents, and my priest. At least that's what Father Kyle told me. But also, like, you wouldn't tell that to a stranger, so why are you telling me? How am I supposed to respond? Like, is this how the court told you to tell people? It got bigger. But I would take that over, though, like meeting somebody who knows your parents when you're not with your parents. Because they always come up to you, no context, complete stranger, right up to your face, and they're like, hey, I know your dad. Cool, you want a cookie? What do you do? Do I need a lawyer present? Like, I don't have time for idle chit-chat. My car is running. This is a robbery. Put the money in the bag. But sure, I'll tell him you said hey. I like you guys so far, but before we get into our next comic, I want to ask you guys a question just to make sure I didn't have a weird childhood. Yeah, but when you guys were younger and you were eating dinner at the dinner table with your parents, did they ever like try to guilt you into finishing your meal if you couldn't? They'd say things like, oh, we know a family who'd appreciate this. Or, oh, we can ship this off to some third world country. We're going to use Ethiopia because that's what my mom used. We could ship this off to Ethiopia. First off, way to create an eating disorder throughout an entire generation. Explains why I was obese till I was 25. Love you. Secondly, rude. That meatloaf is from tonight. It's going to take at least 2 to 3 days to get to O'Hare, another 3 to 5 to get overseas, and another 2 to 3 to get to Ethiopia, if they're lucky. By the time they're opening that box, that meatloaf is rotten and there are flies everywhere. You're taunting them. Stop it! But then it got me thinking, like, what are the parents of the Ethiopian kids telling him at dinner? Like at the end of their meal, when they're looking up at them with their hungry eyes. I think they're telling him this. You should be happy with what you got. You could have too much like those Americans and be obese or have diabetes. You could have lost your leg to a disease, but instead you lost it to a lion like a man. All right, that's all for me. Are you guys ready for your next comic? You're Our next comic has performed at Don't Tell Comedy, at the Laugh Factory, and at Laugh Riot Girl Festival. Let's give it up for Katie Zane!